Christina. Sixers start up the third quarter the way they began the game.
First half, they have been a terrible third quarter team offensively and defensively this year. We'll see. This group has a unique chance because it's never combined, but we'll see if they can respond here in the third.
Sasser getting the start with Asard Thompson not available. He misses the
second chance point for the Sixers, 15 to Detroit's 5. This was supposed to be an interior paint point, be aggressive type of game for the Detroit Pistons, and they've not mustered much action down in the paint.
Shot clock was down to 3, and Watford. That was a point guard defending Watford. Jalen from the clouds. Second dunk of the ball game for
awesome. Just complete power.
Quentin Grimes, a scoreless first quarter, but a totally different player since.
And knocking down some threes. There'll be some energy from those two.
Duran showing you what he is all about. He's got the first 4 of the third quarter for Detroit and a free throw coming.
2 highlight buckets for
151 dunks on the year. Only Rudy Gobert with more. And Gobert,
5 more points a game for this Detroit offense. That is huge for them, along with his ability to drive the basketball. It's something that JB talked about with us before the game, where he's becoming to the free throw line.
Duran bounces it over to Sasser. Duran had it for a moment. Cleared away. Deflected out of bounds by Cunningham. Let's check in with Christina with more about Jalen.
Accolade, but he came into the season the best shape of his career after a conversation with JB Bickerstaff. He said it allowed me to start the season in a good rhythm, and it's making a difference even now. Coach telling us he's making a big difference on both ends of the floor and even season.
Thank you, Christina. Harris turning back the hands of time.
Sweet handle around the back to himself to set up more room, and then deciding between Tobias and Jalen.
Another 10-assist game for Cade Cunningham.
Just go back to Christina's point about Jalen and the most all played significant minutes, but then there's the role players that really stepped up. Colin Gillespie, Ryan Rollins, Keontae George, Anthony Black in Orlando. So lots of candidates this year, and great to see that guys and get an opportunity can show you a little bit more what they're capable of.
Duncan Robinson with the left hand. I say it once again, he is more than just a straightaway shooter. This is a guy who put the ball 31. That is a point guard who understands where
deflections tonight. How many chances have they had to just tip passes? Philly's trying to find angles that are just not there.
Beauchamp had a really good first half. Edgecombe and Grimes. Detroit stays as is. They're playing with their 5 starters.
Somehow Detroit finding a way to get Duran involved with his size.
Duran, body's just flopping off of it.
Possession right there.
Stronger than 10 rows of gargles with thumbtacks. Quentin Grimes. Walker. That's a nice finish.
Great feed from Grimes on the timing there, just making sure that he, before dropping that off for Jabari to get the layup.
Duncan Robinson. Head and shoulder fake. Had it blocked by Edgecombe. Piece of that. Edgecombe turns Robinson around. Gives it up to Grimes. Sasser. Another rebound, Duran. Robinson. Going up, he left the wrong man open.
You just got to be so attentive. Rebound, you got to scramble out to the shooters, especially Duncan Robinson.
Payne flips it high off the window and in. To the rim. Another dunk. Duran assisted by
ability to seal down low.
Another. Cunningham starts, had it knocked away by Beauchamp.
Getting up into Cade Cunningham, both full court and half court, just trying to hound him as much as possible.
Again, Philadelphia loses track to the shooter. Duncan almost a steal by Sasser. Edgecombe. Not heading. Sasser blocked by Edgecombe. Beauchamp. Transition three.
There's no five-man to challenge him physically.
Another basket at the rim by Detroit. Give the assist to Cunningham. Two more.
The 20 assist watch here.
Detroit's record for assists in a game, 25. Kevin Porter did that way back when. The other Kevin Porter. They have a brother who plays in the NHL. Pretty cool. 1 out of 2 for Grimes. Tallest NHL player, 6'8". 4 inches taller than his brother who plays in the NBA.
Interesting.
Javonte Green into the game. Second three-pointer for the veteran Green.
4-10 in the quarter. Knocking down shots. Defensive intensity is picked up.
Another hand on a basketball. It's picked up by Payne, who nonchalantly tosses it up. It is 21. Herter waiting at the scorer's table for Detroit. And a bad screen set by Seth.
Half court.
Payne. Corkscrew jumper of his. When he gets hot, though, he gets hot. Uh-oh. It's a mismatch. And Payne forced to foul Beef Stew.
Pistons coaching staff does a really good job of making sure that it is a great opportunity to find your big down low against the small.
Duran sits. Stewart is the man in the middle for Detroit. Stewart grew up in Rochester, New York. So Beef Stew always wore 33 everywhere he went. But you can't wear that here in Detroit. They retired that long time ago for Grant Hill. Let's check in with Christina. More on Beef Stew.
Well, Beef Stew is also kind of the enforcer on this team, and it's you know, I'm always going to be out there having my teammates back, but it's also something that you just can't fake. He said, I know the history with his organization, and I know they had a lot of enforcers try to get in the game and set the tone.
Thank you, Christina. Yeah, I've had a number of conversations over the years with Isaiah. He's a prince, but you get him on the floor, then he is a beast. Score the goal, Justin Edwards, good follow. Green is pushed off his path, and Javonte Green will shoot 2 free throws.
Here we are.
Redeem the team. And he's never worn a college number, which was 3, and retired at Radford. Any feathers, that just want to play ball. Justin Edwards trying to get past Holland. That's a nice move. Second-year man Edwards.
Yeah, tough shot. I thought Holland passed back over and hit about a 12-foot float shot.
Cunningham's played this entire third quarter for Detroit. Ooh, that's a nice little semi-sham guy. And Isaiah Stewart stepped on the end line. That was a spin move with the dribble for Cunningham that was brought into the NBA.
Don't believe it. Happy birthday, Christina Payne.
Awesome stuff. We all got a little bit.
Boy. And how about Bernie Bickerstaff? Just 40 years to JB before the game. Eric, you had asked him about what part of your dad and
entrusted by the Houston Rockets, the Memphis Grizzlies, the Cleveland Cavaliers, and now the Detroit Pistons to be the head coach. And he is faced Bob Dandridge, Mitch Kupchak, Kevin Reevy, Wes Unseld. Score the goal, VJ Edgecombe. Team, but hadn't been able to play, dealing with that hand injury. But he still leads the NBA in points scored.
He's had unbelievable all-NBA year, but he's on the cusp here, right, for games played. I think he has to play in 4 more games before the season's end. But he is.
Beef Stew wants it, and he's fouled on the catch. Edgecombe had it blocked from behind. Been a rough night for Edgecombe. And a block on the other side. Grimes. Ball finds Green. Terry. Again, Stewart unafraid to challenge. Quentin Grimes is foul. Hard-earned 11 points for Grimes. Based on the
move by Nick Nurse, I mean, there's just no more room for Sixers to have players go down. And VJ, like you said, Eric, great lesson on him. struggled offensively, move on to the next one. And a chance for Martin to get some minutes.
Devontae Green is a totally different player than he was when he came into the league. This guy's off the bench. Green now has 17 points. He's made 4 out of 6 from deep. Beauchamp put it on top of Stewart, who didn't want to get hit in the equipment again.
Nice finish. And that time Beauchamp did this go into the body of Stewart. Just created enough room to get that floater off.
Learned his lesson.
Also, couldn't move Isaiah Stewart. Like he could get hurt.
All in the misfire. 22% from behind the arc. Tyrese Martin is checked into the game. Tyrese Martin, the first to not be an all-star. Swirling layup. Jenkins. First 2 Tyreses in the league. Tyrese Maxey, Tyrese Halliburton, both becoming all-stars. Score the goal.
Can't wait for the next Arvidas to enter the league to see what you say about that guy.
You've got to be 7'3" with the strength of 10 men. Stewart. Best place for live betting and same-game parlays. Download the FanDuel Sportsbook app now and play your game. Philadelphia will have a day off. Their next game will be back at home. They will host Brooklyn.
As much Toronto, and then 2 games at Washington. So a real chance for them to string together a lot of wins.
And remember, Boston's playing tonight, following this one out in Oklahoma City. Tyrese Martin with a bucket. Let's check in with Christina.
Yeah, getting to that 1 seed, clinch this franchise and this team, and it would mean a lot to the city, but especially the players. And talking to Cade Cunningham, he said, you know, 2 years ago, we were at the bottom of the conference, the bottom of the league, but we still had that mindset that we could get to the top very soon. So he said it's not that...
A huge improvement, 44 wins. This year already 46 wins. Still with a full month remaining in the season. Score the goal and a foul. That is Marcus Sasser with a left hand. On like a cat on a screen door. Should they be worried considering all the injuries and what's going on?
All of these injuries are something that are all getting reevaluated, which means that it's not tomorrow, it's a couple of weeks from now. Paul George will return March 25th from his suspension.
Holland is fouled. And the Dutchman will go to the free throw line.
Another great transition opportunity.
Everybody clap your hands.
Important minutes for Herter, trying to figure out his offense with his new team. For Pistons fans, just thinking about fine-tuning heading to the postseason. What's going to be the difference between Herter and Duncan Robinson? Walker with the left hand.
Well, system, 2 more weeks of playing. He'll get settled here in Detroit. It's just a matter of having him be to throw him in the game.
Remember, playing tonight for the Pistons, not in the lineup, Asar Thompson, who has turned into a really significant part of what they do. He's got to turn that
defensive playmaking ability make up for the lack of their production from the 3-point line.
Into the game. First shot, Chaz Lanier, 20. Second-round pick back in June. Terry got hit on the head. Chance for a 3-point.
Him to you, Eric Collins.
Before winning on Tuesday against Brooklyn. Now a decisive win here on a Thursday night against Philadelphia. All is good again here in Motown. Quarter. Another game coming your way. We still have Boston and OKC. 2 more for Walker.
Oh, Paul Reed down. Nobody.
Poked away by Martin. 4-on-2 for Philadelphia. And Beauchamp. This is a guy who's fighting for his time in the league.
And 3 times in this game, Beauchamp has just decided to pull up in transition from the 3-point line, and all the shots have looked pretty good.
Holland this time will go to the free throw line.
I do.
Yeah, net taxes.
I do.
And Jay Gilden, did he break Wiltz?
Yeah, he sets it, right?
He set the race. He's currently tied with Wilt still.
Amazing.
The Dipper
in the 40s now. 45,
okay.
46.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know it's a long way off, but There's some MVP chatter in LA.
Second consecutive blowout win for the Detroit Pistons. This has allowed J.B. Bickerstaff to sit his starters for large swaths of the game and almost the entire fourth quarter.
And that is massive for them. So sharing the ball, getting everybody involved, taking the lead, and then giving this out.
24. Beauchamp had a foot on the line. Totally different categories. You don't have to be great in both of them, but they are.
Yeah,
Number one is steal.
Physical and not ready for that kind of challenge, you're going to be in trouble.
Paul Reed gets himself a chin-up. So for Detroit, he has a team per game to lead the NBA. Maybe Bickerstaff is going to smile when he takes a look at the box score post.
Done in Boston. Definitely has a chance.
Philadelphia lick their wounds. They'll head back home. They'll be back in the short pants on Saturday, taking on Brooklyn. Chaz Lanier, once gone, all for naught. Now we'll try three. Shot clock's off. Terry. Wow, that was a YMCA move. And the Pistons, they keep rolling along. They now have 47 wins. That is tops in the Eastern Conference. They're 47-18 through their first 65 games. So they now move, at least temporarily.